Hi, and welcome to the 9th week of Fall into Wellness. I'm Steph Paulson, and I also have Chief with me today. This week, we're going to continue our journey into passion, and we'll also be exploring the new moon energies. Passion and personal drive go hand in hand. As we get excited about something, we often want to gain a deeper knowledge of that technique or skill. And as we gain a deeper knowledge, we also gain confidence in our abilities to take on that new opportunity. So new moons are about a new chapter. Use this energy of abundance and joy and pleasure and step into this new beginning. This yoga flow is more of a stretchy yoga flow that we're going to turn into ourselves and really search for our passion. And we're also going to find joy and pleasure as we go through this flow. I have 2 blocks and also a blanket to put under my knees, just to pad my knees a little bit. We'll be on the ground mostly. Let's all begin in a child's pose. You're welcome to use blocks underneath your torso and head to support you, or you can ditch it. Let's take the arms out and come into a child's pose. Your knees can be together for more support or a little bit wider to open up the hips. And take this time to turn inwards. Focus your attention on the breath. Notice if it's fast or slow. Become the observer of your body, your breath, and your thoughts. As you breathe in, belly and rib cage expand. Breathe into the back body. Take one more sip of air. Exhale, everything contracts, coming back to center. And let's do that a few more times on our own. Be mindful of any clenching in your jaw. Any tension in your eyelids if they're closed. Let's walk our hands over to the right side. Maybe you take the left palm on top of the right hand, stretching into the left side body. Breathing into the left side. One more cycle of breath. Walk your hands through center and all the way to the second side. So going over to the left side, taking the right hand on top of the left if that feels good. Remember, yoga is really looking within and asking yourself what you need right now at this moment. As we breathe in, we're going to breathe into the right side body. And exhale, everything comes back to center. One more cycle of breath, please. Let's take it to the center and come up to a comfortable seated position. It can be cross-legged. You can sit on your blocks. In fact, I might sit on a block. You can bring your legs out wide or in front of you. Remember, your position does not have to look like mine. Ask yourself what your body needs. It can even be sitting in a chair. We'll be here for a little bit. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. Take the right ear to the right shoulder and press the left shoulder away. So stretching out the neck, And if you like, you can take that right hand to the left side of the head and gently add just a small bit of pressure. No matter if your hand's on top or if it's by your side, roll the chin down just slightly. And you're going to get a different stretch here, more on the back side of the neck. Take the chin down to the chest, release the head, and to the other side. So bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. And of course, if you want to add a little bit, you can take the left hand to the right side. Gently take the chin down just slightly. Keep pressing that right shoulder away. And release. And gently roll, rock and roll side to side. Maybe staying at any sticky points. Let's bring the gaze back up to neutral. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, the arms up overhead, reach. Exhale, let's twist to the right. And let's keep our gaze neutral just for a little bit. Pull that belly button in. Ground down through the sit bones, but lengthen through the crown of the head. And gently look behind the right shoulder, then in front. So just a little bit more of neck stretches, neck mobility. And you go at your own pace. Please listen to your body. Let's take the gaze behind the right shoulder one more time. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, take the right hand to the left knee, round out the spine, tuck the chin. Second side, so lengthen both sides of the torso. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist to the left side. Keep the chin neutral just for a moment. Broaden across the collarbones. And let's start with a little bit of movement. So we look behind the left shoulder and then we come back. Look behind. Go at your own range of motion, right? Maybe you want a little bit of movement. Maybe you want a lot. Let's take a gaze behind that back shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale, bring that left hand to the right knee. Round out the spine. Separate the shoulder blades behind you. And come back to center. If your legs are crossed, please switch the cross of the legs. May feel a little awkward, but it's worth a practice, right? Okay, take that right arm across. Take the right shoulder away. So stretching out the back side of the right shoulder. You can close your eyes if this feels good. And let's take that right hand down the spine, so stretching out the triceps. Elbow stretches up high to the ceiling or the sky, and keep lengthening both sides of the torso, but tuck the front ribs in. Let's release, second side. Left arm across the body, take the left shoulder away from the ear. Ground down through the sit bones. Lift the hip bones to be in line with the bottom rib cage, so really brace the core. And let's slide that left hand down the spine. Any amount. Elbow reaching up to the sky. Let's release. Take the arms out to a T position. Thumbs are face up. Really spread the hands wide and reach the opposite sides. Take the thumbs down to the mat. Stretch out the biceps. Nice. And release. Oops, sorry. All right, let's come to all fours. So if you're sitting on a block, go ahead and remove it. And we're going to come to all fours. Knees underneath the hips. Knees underneath the hips, the wrists are underneath the shoulders. We inhale, drop the belly button to the mat. Exhale, round out the spine, press the ground away. Couple more. So working on extension of the spine and flexion. Try to get a little bit more space in between the vertebrae. Come into a neutral spine. Pull the belly button in, press the ground away. Extend the right leg. And just gently, let's keep the toes on the mat. Gently press the heel to the back and then come back to center. And just a few more rounds, so stretching out the calves. All right, come into neutral. Let's lift the back leg up, keep the hip bones square, and we're gonna take the right leg across the left, and we're gonna look towards that right ankle, or towards the left side. So feeling a stretch on the right side body, lateral stretch. Kind of similar to what we did in child's pose at the beginning of the practice. All right, let's release. Come back to center, bend the knee. We have the second side. So extend the left leg, keep the toes on the mat, and we gently press the heel back and come forward. So be curious on what you need. Be curious on what ignites your passion. Let's lift the leg, press the heel to the back wall, pull the front ribs in, and take the leg across the body. And we're gonna look towards that ankle that's extended. So new moon energies are all about a new chapter, a new beginning, a fresh start. So if you feel like you're really passionate about something, it's time to step on in. Lean into that passion. Be confident that that's your calling. It comes from within. Can't be wrong. All right, let's come back to center. Bend the knee. Very good. So let's take it up to a down dog. Flip the toes under, lift the hips high. Here's your first down dog. Feel free to pedal out the feet, or maybe you find stillness instead. Okay, no matter where you're at, press into the index, knuckle, and thumb, spin the triceps to the toes, bend the knees generously. If that feels good, of course, you can always straighten the legs, whatever your body needs. Let's bring the right foot in between the hands. Make sure your blocks are handy, and this is where a blanket comes in handy. So I'm gonna kind of take that blanket underneath the back knee. And especially since I'm outside, I got some rocks underneath me, so it's a little bit more comfortable. Let's take the blocks to the hands. So coming into a low lunge. So I want this to be a really yummy stretch for you. So I'm letting my hips sink. If that doesn't feel good in your lower back, back off of it a little bit, that's fine. But explore what feels good. Maybe it's a little bit back up here. Maybe you let your hips sink. Lift the heart. We're opening the left hip flexor. And maybe you feel a little stretch in the right hip hamstrings. Okay. Let's take the left hand down to the mat or to a block, and we're gonna twist. So another little twist, revolve that spine, open up the heart. So we're opening up channels of energy to move through our body. And this stagnant energy might bring something new into your mind. It might feel like a flash in the pan, but if it's something that keeps popping up, you might wanna explore that. Take the hand down, use your blocks again, and just kind of bring the heart a little bit more up. So it's a tiny little back bend here. Very nice. Let's stretch out the hip flexor even more and a little bit of the quad. So just pick up your left toes. If this is enough, this is already intense. I feel it in the front side of the thigh. Stay here. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna take your right hand, grab the left ankle. This is not required, but just giving you options to explore what feels good. We're taking it into a slower yoga stretch, a slower practice today. And just a couple more breaths. Go ahead and release if you do have a hold of that ankle. Okay, move the blocks slightly out of the way. You might need them in a moment. So I'm just gonna leave them kind of handy. All right, we're gonna spin on the right foot and dropping our hips. So your hips might be high. You're gonna feel a stretch on the left inner thigh. You might drop your hips low, right? Everyone has different flexion in their ankle. Remember, your pose doesn't have to look like mine. We all bring different experiences to the mat, and I want you to celebrate those experiences. That's what makes you you. All right, let's get out of this. So we take both feet to the ground. All 10 toes are forward. Just gonna slide that blanket out of the way and drop here. So stretching out the hamstrings. Let the crown of the head come towards the mat. And the palms of your hands are down on the mat. And I have chaturanga arms. So ankles are in line with, the wrists are in line with the ankles and the elbows are bent. So really lengthening the spine, lifting the sit bones up high to the sky. And if you feel an intense stretch behind the knees, bend the knees ever so slightly. One more deep breath here. Nicely done. All right, we're gonna toe heel our feet in. So our feet are gonna be just outside of our hips. And this is where blocks might be handy, although not required. So we're coming into Malasana, a yogi squat, right? You take your upper arms into the inner thighs. Sometimes a block or two is really comfortable. This will open up the hips. We're just gonna stay here for a few breaths. And like I said, everyone's built differently. So your heels might be off, that's okay. You can stick maybe a towel underneath your heels to add some support. All right, let's take the hands down. Wonderful, lift the hips high. We'll get out of that pose. Keep the blocks handy. Toe heel the feet a little bit wider again. So coming into that wide-legged forward fold. Let's walk our hands over to the right side. Or one side, we'll do both. And walk your hands over to the left side. Opening up the hamstrings and a little side body stretch too. We're gonna stay at the left side. So this is your second side. So moving on, this is the side that you haven't done yet. Coming into Skandasana. So hips can be low, hips can be high, your heel might be off the ground. We won't be here forever. Know that everything's in flow. Everything's always changing. All right, let's spin. We're on the second side. So left foot is in between your hands. Let's drop the back knee. I'm gonna slide my blanket again for a little bit of padding. Take the blocks and coming into a low lunge, lifting the heart. So take a moment to think about what brings you joy. What lights up your light? What are you excited to learn about, to gain more knowledge in? What feels like it's effortless? Can that be your passion? All right, let's take that right hand down to the mat or block, and we're gonna offer a little bit of twist. So be curious about what brings you joy in your life. Be open to new possibilities, especially during a new moon. Let's take the hand down. Come into that low lunge just one more time. So even lengthen the heart up even more. So pressing the shoulder blades into the heart. Okay. Let's come into that quad stretch. Remember, each side might be different. So pick up the right toes. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you want a little bit more. Reach for that ankle with your left hand. Go ahead and release. Awesome. All right, so let's come into down dog again. So your front foot goes all the way to the back. And if you're using a blanket, go ahead and slide it out of the way. Coming into down dog, feel free to move or find stillness. Let's all find stillness. Press the heels towards the mat. Lift the sit bones high. Pull the front ribs in. And your head is in between your upper arms. Let's bend the knees and bring it all the way down. Find a comfortable seat one more time. So we're going into a little bit of breathing practices. This is going to balance the right and left side energies. So with your right hand, you're going to curl the pointer finger and the middle finger in towards the thumb pad. And then use your thumb and your ring finger to close and open the nostrils. Your pinky finger is just going to rest on your face. So alternate nostril breathing. So the way it goes is we're going to open the right nostril and breathe in. We close the right nostril. We open the left, breathe out, and take a pause. We keep the left open as we breathe in. We close the left, and we open the right and exhale. All right, let's take it. Maybe you close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Inhale through the nose. Both nostrils are open. Exhale, let it go. Let's inhale through the right side. Left nostril is closed, the right is open. Place the thumb on the right. Open up the left, exhale. Take a pause. Inhale through the left. Close. Open the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close. Open the left. Exhale. Pause. Inhale through the left. Close. Open the right. Exhale. Pause. 3 more cycles on your own. Last cycle. Release your hand to your lap. 2 more cycles of breath. Breathing in through the nose, belly and rib cage expand. Breathing into your chest, expanding the backside of the lungs. Take 1 more sip of breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And 1 more time. Inhale through the nose. Filling up all parts of the lungs. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. If your eyes are open, go ahead and blink. I'm sorry, if your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open. It was a joy and a pleasure to lead you in this passion and new moon yoga flow today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. My name is Steph Paulson, and I have Chief here. Until our paths cross again.